Everyone, my name is Jess. I got the paper. Today I'm in the New York Post. Yes, and I am on page 7. I'm so excited. If you guys can grab a paper, please do. Tell a friend. February 2nd, Jess is in the paper. And so what am I doing today? I know I'm usually in my bedroom doing hair in my bathroom, but today's a very special day because I want to get my hair prepped for this challenge of attempting to break the world record for the world's largest afro. And in order to do that, I really got to trim these ends. As you guys know, I trim my hair by myself in my apartment, but today I am leveling up and I have a professional who's going to be helping me out, Miss Diane DaCosta.
Hello.
So we are at her salon in Harlem. That's where we are.
Yes.
And it's going to be really great. So we're going to do a consultation. We've already gotten some things out of the way. But y'all, this is my first time in a salon in so many years. I was a little nervous. I still am a little nervous because, I don't let people touch my hair. But I'm in good hands. I know that I'm in good hands because I sought a licensed professional, someone who knows what she's doing, somebody who's been in the business, in the industry for a very long time. So I am going to put my life in her hands right now. Okay? And you guys can watch along if you want, or don't. It's your life.
It's your life.
Yeah.
You're in good hands. I've been in the business for over 37 years now. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, but I'm a texture expert, and I wrote the book Textured Tresses in 2004.
Fabulous.
So you're in good hands for sure.
I know I am. I wouldn't be here. Trust me. I would be at home.
Okay, may I take off your
Yes.
your hat here? Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to fill out the form, which you are already done, and we're going to go over the consultation form, which will go over your texture type, your texture hair, your density, elasticity, and the overall condition of your hair. Okay. Including what products and your routine and how you will create a healthy regimen for your hair. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I know that, that's very important to you to have a basic foundation of the healthiness to create and maintain the healthiness of your hair as you go through all of your journeys. Right.
Absolutely.
So basically, I'm going to look at your hair from root to ends. And you said you have nothing in your hair, no leave-in or anything?
No.
This is just shampooed and conditioned and rinsed out. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So already this is tangling, so I know you have some split ends.
Yeah, I definitely have split ends. We know that.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So this is how I go through the hair. I'm going to look at it, feel it, look at the textures. Right now you have a design texture because you twisted it, so it gave you that rope effect. This is not your real texture here, where this curly pattern is created, right? So I'm gonna wet this, and we're gonna see what your pattern is, and I'm gonna open up different sections of your hair so we can see how many textures you actually have. Okay. And you can let me know that you have different textures. Yep. And where they are already tighter, you can let me know that. So when I wet your hair,
so I know that
look specifically in those areas.
Specifically, the back is going to give a tighter, more dense feel than it does, not just only in the front, but I feel like here I have a lot of volume here as well. And then the pieces in the front are also very, very, very tight coils. Okay. So.
All right, and so the goal is to get your hair healthy for this challenge in giving you a little more volume for the measurements without taking off all of your hair, obviously.
Right.
Okay, so just looking at it just circumferentially rise and looking at everything that's going on in your hair. I see you have strands that are broken off already just on your strand.
Yep.
Each strand. So you have some breakage there for whatever reason.
Well,
right?
I can tell you the reason.
Okay.
So when I do like this style and I leave it in too long, because like I say I'm doing the braids, and it gets rubbed against, it breaks off. Like you see, like it'll be braided here, and then it'll break off, and then let's say I go to take it out, I usually will experience breakage here because I'm the way I tug it. So it's really just me not being gentle and not giving the part a break in the center. So sometimes
So this is forced, you're saying, with
it's from being rough
with a brush and or your hands or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's part of it. Now, your hair can just be fragile, even though it looks thick and healthy and, you know, voluptuous and also strong. We're going to go over the actual strand and see how strong it really is, because it looks strong and our hair is, the word is strong, right? We have strong hair, meaning we think that it doesn't break or it's not susceptible to breakage, but if it lacks the correct amount of protein to moisture balance, as well as it's brittle or the natural oils are not reaching all of the hair down the hair shaft, it can break off. Right. Because it's not being naturally lubricated. Okay, so first, I always go in and look at the scalp. Okay. And we discussed this, that you do have a condition called seborrheic dermatitis.
Yes.
Which causes many things. So it can cause hair loss. It causes flakes. It causes buildup on the scalp because it's an overproduction of the sebaceous gland. Your scalp can itch immensely, and if you do scratch it uncontrollably, which sometimes happens, you can get bleeding and scarring.
Yeah,
right?
I have all that. Yeah.
Okay, so and we'll talk about ways to maintain that and help reduce that. But I just want to go through your hair and see where it is more pronounced, because sometimes it's in certain areas more than others. And because you just shampooed your hair, it's not necessarily on your scalp, but now the little oily beads is what they look like. They are not like big flakes. They're little beads of oil that now, after you do your shampoo, get stuck in your hair. Right? So now I see the flakes all over your hair, not a lot because you have shampooed it. But once you shampoo, it could still be in the hair. Right. And then that's when you actually have to shampoo it more. Right. Cleanse the actual hair again, even though you did like 2 or 3 already. Right.
Yeah. So when I spoke with my dermatologist, they recommended that I shampoo twice a week when I have a flare up. And like as it gets better, then I can kind of pull back.
Correct. And I also have that condition. I don't have this condition anymore because mine is inactive.
Period.
And so you have active and inactive.
Yeah.
And some of the reasons why it does get active is stress.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stress causes a lot of this seborrheic dermatitis to flare up, along with yeast, wheat, and sugar.
Yeah, I've been cutting out sugar, haven't I been?
Yes.
I've been cutting down my sugar.
The more it will activate.
Yes.
And excessive, it will cause you to irritate your scalp and inflame.
Yes.
And then it goes from follicle to follicle.
Right.
And that's when you can have hair loss.
Right.
So you're on a special medication that the doctor gave you to use twice a week.
Yeah, I don't always do it though.
But only, you do it every time you shampoo.
Yeah, not every. I don't, only because sometimes it's a little too strong. Like it gets,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to be honest.
Yes.
I don't always do, I'm just trying to be honest here. I don't do it every time I shampoo, but I do it consistently enough for, like, in my mind. Like, if I have a really bad flare up, yeah, I'm going to be up in there. But if I'm okay and I'm not, like, itching and scratching and I feel like I'm all right, then I'm not doing it every time I shampoo. So, but I know I need to do it every time I shampoo. It's just a very intense shampoo. So.
Okay, so I'm just going to give you a little trick how to do it.
Okay.
So that it's easier for you and you're not, having your flare-ups more often.
Right.
And that you do stay consistent because it only works.
If you're consistent with it, like everything
Yes,
else, yeah.
every time.
Right.
Okay. So basically, when you put your hair in your partings
Mm-hmm.
before you shampoo, right?
Yeah.
To make it easier for you because you do have a lot of hair. You're just going to take the shampoo and put it in your scalp. Do the sections. When you do the sections,
Mm-hmm.
take each section and put it in your scalp like so. Because the medication is just for your scalp. It's not for your hair.
Yeah, I only put it on my
Right?
scalp. Yeah.
And then just massage it in. Massage it in.
Right.
And that's, you're cleansing your scalp now. That's it. Before you rinse that out, then you put your shampoo on your hair for
before
the first.
I rinse it. Okay.
Yes, for your first shampoo. So that
okay.
would be your cleansing shampoo,
Okay.
which could be tea tree, peppermint, mint, something of the mint family that is also antibacterial and cleansing.
Nice.
Right?
Okay.
So you're doing an overall cleansing for your first shampoo.
God, that would help.
Together.
Okay, because I was doing the red shampoo and then double cleansing after. I was rinsing it out, then shampooing.
Yes.
So put it on, then shampoo, then rinse.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's a good tip.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, I could do that.
So once you rinse and you still see some more,
Yeah.
that's when you do your double.
Okay.
If you don't see anything and you got it all because you're not, you don't have a flare up or anything, it's just mild,
Yeah.
then you can move on to your moisturizing.
Shampoo.
Your moisturizing shampoo.
Got
so
it.
then you have two shampoos.
Yeah.
Basically. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
skip.
I'm on it. I got
Okay.
you. I'm locked in.
And now you can start healing from that condition.
Right.
And then continue with it once or twice a week, depending on, your flexibility.
Right.
And as you take the ingredients out of your system
Right.
that's flaring it up,
Mm-hmm.
everything will become shorter and shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
And then eventually it'll just be like second nature.
Yeah.
So if you do skip 1 or 2 times a month or whatever have you, it's not going to bother you or flare up.
Yeah.
And then when you feel it coming on, you can, get back in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got it. Oh, so cute.
You want to come in, Luke?
I wish you
Luke
could have
wants
saw
to
how
come
it looked before. It was so
Shampoo.
white. My
Okay.
whole scalp was just all white.
So you're in your active, in your active stage right now for your condition.
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah.
And a lot of people have seborrhea and they mistake it for quote unquote dandruff.
Yeah.
Because there's only dry scalp
Mm-hmm.
and then there's seborrhea, eczema, or psoriasis. Dandruff is a term that they, created to just make it easier to sell products, really. So,
Okay.
and when you look up the word dandruff, you'll see a scientific name for it, but then it just means, an excessive amount of dryness on the scalp,
Okay.
right? Versus a condition, which a lot of people have because we intake too much sugar, too much bread,
Yes.
too much pasta. And
I ate pasta yesterday. Shame on me.
no, we love it, right?
I love pasta.
We love it. But there's ways to actually substitute the
It's
wheat.
not the same.
No, it is.
Oh.
Trust me. You can do
I'm gonna have to
semolina.
eat some pasta with you.
You gotta have some semolina first, right? And then wean your way into the pasta.
Okay.
There's, squash pasta. There's, all kinds of pastas that taste really good.
Okay.
But it's just a matter of,
Exploring, yeah.
it's an acquired taste, a palate, if you will.
Yeah.
But cooking with sauces and different things that actually accent the flavors is what will take you away from this is not pasta, which is bad for me, right?
Yeah.
for some people who are allergic to it, really.
Right,
Your body is not processing it, and it's attacking your scalp at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So just, if you think about, I do not want to live like this for the rest of my life.
Facts.
Then I'm going to do this, and it might take me a little time, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it my life goal to eliminate the things that hurt me and my body and my scalp and my hair, basically. Because you love yourself, right? You love your hair and you love your body, right? So this is what we have to do, and it's not overnight.
Right.
It's like baby steps, especially if you're a foodie and you love to eat, right?
Yes.
Don't we all? Right?
Yes.
So that's that. Okay, so first the scalp, then we look at the hair, right? Overall, we see, we already know hair. We're gonna, take care of that. We're gonna trim and we're gonna shape. And the thing about cutting, shaping, and trimming, there's really no such thing as a trim. It's just cutting and how much we're gonna take off. Right? And so when I give my consultations, I explain that to my clients that this is the amount that has to be taken off for healthiness of the hair, because it's going to always be there. And you can decide how much you want to take off and how often you will take the months to do it. So basically, we're doing a project here, so we're not going to be taking off the real amount, right?
Yeah.
So we have,
and thank you for understanding that.
Right,
That's
we have what would make your hair healthy.
Yeah, I need to take off at least 4 inches in general, but
So,
I agree.
And just to explain it, when you see through the hair, is that's where you know one of the reasons why it has to come off. Right. So you see through it, and then there's obviously tangling at the ends, and the brushes and the comb stopping at the end, wherever it stops. So generally, I would say, normally I would say, you need to take off. Hair would be really healthy. Hair would be, it would get you the ends off. And then if we wanted to be conservative, you could take off that amount. Right, because I still see a little bit dark hair. Right. So, and then normally to get healthy hair, you would anywhere now between 4 and 6 months. 6 is pushing it. 4 is really good for shaping and cutting the hair. The amount of time. 6 months is okay if you're doing a healthy regimen and you're keeping your ends healthy. You won't need to do it that often, right? If those specific routines and details and products that you're using is keeping your hair healthy. So I love to cut. I'm a master cutter, but I can understand myself while growing out my hair that I don't want it cut either. However, I like my hair healthy, and I like healthy ends. So
balance.
That's it. It's a balance, right? So that's that, and we're going to discuss how much we're going to take off to create the volume that you need for your specific project.
Right.
So as you can see, we took it out and it was damp, right? And now it's getting volume. The more I touch it, it's getting bigger and bigger, and the air is taking the wet out of it, and it's becoming bigger and bigger. So we look at the textures, right? And back here you said you had a tighter texture, but now that it's dry, this is not your true texture. Your true texture is when your hair is damp and wet, really. Excuse me, I'm just going to get this water bottle over here. And so even though we love volume and we love the look and the feel of what it feels like when it's big, to understand your texture, your true texture, you're going to look at it when it's wet. So back here, I'm going to wet different sections of your hair. and I'm smoothing the water through just to see the texture, but when I go over porosity, we won't smooth it through. I'm gonna just see how the water is absorbed in your hair. Okay, so here we have the back.
Do you want to turn me around so they can see?
I'm gonna give you a mirror, I guess. I'm gonna do.
I didn't know you could look at the pattern without product in it.
Yes, you want to look at it without product in it because that is the true texture.
The true texture.
And also, you're gonna see the true texture comes from the root. So I'm gonna already I can see you have no products in your hair and you have low porosity. Do you see that water just right on top of the head?
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
Right.
And this is your true texture coming out of your scalp. So you also see how silky your hair is. Silky and smooth is your true texture.
Okay.
Like over time, environment, wear and tear, styling products, and pulling and tugging creates all of this other breakage and look of a different texture. Because back here, it's still silky and smooth. Your hair's still silky and smooth, but it has, look at these little pieces coming out of your hair, which causes the roughness, right? I'm gonna go to the front now. So here we see a loose curl. You have curly hair back here, right? It's a loose curl, which on the
I feel like I'm at the scientist's office and I'm getting I'm getting the full thing going right now. Okay. Yeah, show me where I land.
okay, sorry, you're a loose coil.
Okay, loose coil.
You're a loose coil because you also have zigzag pattern.
Oh.
And you have a coil pattern, which would be here, loose coil, which is a looser. It's a tighter circle than the curls, but it's looser. So back here, you have a combination of the loose coils with some zigzag from the afro, is what we call afro coils.
Okay.
Right? And I call it afro because it has zigzag, and when you comb it out, it becomes a big afro. Some people, when you comb it out, it still lays down.
Ah, I see.
Right? It doesn't come full and fluffy.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
The more you pull it out, it becomes fuller and fluffy, and that's because of the zigzag. Right? It will still lay down if you had curls or straight hair or waves. It's not gonna go into that big afro looking texture. Right? So back here you have that loose coil, and you have I showed you that you have breakage, snapping off, shedding, and things like that.
I be ripping the back out sometimes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
So a lot of times,
I'll be honest. I do.
Well, I mean, a lot of times it's because we're rushing, we're combing, we're pulling, and a lot of times you have split ends, and you're breaking, you're pulling.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So you know this, and that's good.
I got a lot of hair, and so
time is of the essence.
Yeah, but I take my time. I think I was only able to retain this much length because that's evidence that I do try to do my best to take my time.
Yeah.
But sometimes, let's say I try a new comb.
Yeah.
And it's not as flexible as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that makes
or
sense.
if I try a new product and it's this is it's supposed to be conditioning my hair, and I can tell the product hasn't gotten into into the hair yet, and I'm trying to detangle it, boom,
right.
It's a wrap.
And
I can see
why?
it just break off because of the porosity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have very low porosity, very, very low.
Okay. Thanks for telling me that. Cause
that's facts.
Okay.
Right.
'Cause somebody told me I had medium.
No, because look, you have nothing, no product whatsoever in your hair. No product whatsoever.
Right.
The beaded, I mean, you can see it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can see it.
Yeah, it looks like snow.
Yeah. It's beads of water just sitting on top of your hair.
Right.
Now, porosity can be managed. It could be reversed.
Okay.
Actually. Okay. So it's about your routine. And basically your cuticle is shut closed. So there's normal cuticle, high porosity, low porosity, meaning your cuticle, nothing is getting in there. Everything is being on top of your hair shaft, and it will like smooth and make it shiny and stuff, but it's no nutrients is getting into your hair. So that also makes your hair brittle over time. And then so the conditioner, the shampoo and the conditioner is how you solve that.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Got it.
Okay, so now I smooth it in, I'm forcing it into your hair. Because we want to see what your true texture is. In the front.
Right, okay.
Okay, so we already know you have smooth, silky hair here, and then...
Yeah, see that? How cute that little curl
yes.
is? Ah! It's adorable.
So this is still a loose coil, but it's on the chart. It's not an afro coil.
Okay.
It's smooth and silky coil, and it's a loose coil, right? It's very loose.
So when I look at the hair, I would think everything needs to be cut off from top to bottom because I can see through it. And that's do you see how I can see right through all of this hair?
Okay, so basically,
do you see what I mean?
it's not that you can see through it, right? It's because you have hair loss in hair. So you have lost density in hair, not necessarily in here.
Oh, I see it.
See?
Yeah. Okay.
So in here, if we look in here,
so
your
I
indentation here.
So I asked my dermatologist about this too. He wanted to put me on minoxidil.
Yeah.
And I was gonna do it, but then I heard that once you're on minoxidil, you have to stay on it.
That's not true. So minoxidil does work while you're using it, but you can wean yourself off of it as your hair gets healthier and you are doing other natural things to supplement your hair to grow.
Right.
Vitamins, and there's all kinds of vitamins, not just biotin. All the vitamins, A, B, D, and E. Right? Those are the vitamins supplements that you should take, or find them in foods to help your hair grow. Right? And also biotin as well. But minoxidil is just a solution that will help the growth, accelerate the growth. And the more you use it, it will help the follicle get healthier so that it can grow. Basically, that inflammation around your hair that's causing it to break off from whatever, if you have braids and pulled it, you had traction hair, different reasons, pulling on the hair, pulling it back, whatever. Whatever you're, not you, but just anybody.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
For you, it might be, pulling.
Yeah.
And someone else, it could be traction. And sometimes they want you to take steroids, which would be the topical steroid, which is a minoxidil, and or shots to really activate
he offered
inside.
me that, but I felt like it was a big jump for
You're
a
not,
little bit of
I
loss.
mean,
I said I think I'll be. I have so much. I'm like, I think I'll be okay if it'll grow back in on its own. I think I'll survive.
It's not bald. You have some spaces, but you're not bald. But you do have spaces.
Yeah.
You can also massage castor oil in there. Castor oil is also known actually for hair growth, stimulating, nourishing the follicle. And it's the only oil that actually gets into the depth of the epidermis, right? You got to get in there.
Right.
So you want the follicle, you want to get in the follicle, and that oil does get in the follicle. And it doesn't make your hair grow, but it nourishes the follicle. Right? So the more nourishing your hair is getting, the better it is for you to have hair grow.
Right.
And then there's certain seasons that your hair will grow faster, right? So you have that. Okay. So we were looking at the chart on here, and you can also, give me that chart? So we already, know that you have this pattern here. You have this pattern, this loose, right? We also know you have some frizz, but right here is not a lot of frizz. You have maybe this frizz, because this is the most frizz in here. And then let's look at the chart again. The reason why I wouldn't say this is curly, a loose curl, it could be, you could mistake it for a defined curl, which is in between the loose and the tight. But as you can see, this is specifically loops, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Loops,
Mm-hmm.
which is that S loop. And here is a C. So a C is definitely half of a S, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that these are C's.
Oh, I see them.
See, they're going, but with curls, they're looping bigger.
Oh.
And so that's why these are coils. Now,
Okay.
what type of coil is it? It's a loose coil over here,
Okay.
right? And then the reason why it's in the coily section is because versus an afro coily is because you have silky smooth hair.
Yeah.
And you know that because if you look at your roots, when you feel it and you see it, you see it shiny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's shiny from the beginning.
Right.
Now, as it goes down the hair shaft and it grows, it's going to get less shiny
Mm-hmm.
because your hair is long and your natural oils is not getting all the way down. Even though you have a overabundance of oil, it's still not going to go but so far. Right?
Understandable.
So that's common sense, right? At the end of the day. All right. And then I wouldn't say that you really have a lot of frizz here. I would say that you have a lot of breakage and snapping off of the hair in the front. And so that's what's causing your hair to be frizzier here. You might have some zigzag in there, like I could see a little bit of a combination, but it's very minimal in this section.
Okay.
Like it's more of the snapping off and the shedding and the what I call shattered.
Mm-hmm.
You have shattered
Yeah.
strands.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see
So
that.
that's what's going on there, here,
Okay.
and then here. And so basically you have that shatteredness going on throughout your whole hair, which has to mend.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to mend that with protein and moisture repair
Mm-hmm.
for your hair.
Feels so soft. Wow.
Right. And so, okay, let's go over here. So we did here, we did the back. Let's go in here and see if it's tighter, looser, density.
Okay.
Let me look at the strand over here first. So clearly you have thick hair in density.
Okay.
The amount of strands you have on your head is the density of the hair, and you have a lot of hair. So
Okay.
you can lose some hair and not even know because
Right.
you have so much.
Yeah. I know.
But you know when you're losing it,
Right.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm feeling the hair. And I would say this section is medium to thin, not thin to medium,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And we discussed that before. It is in the middle, but closer to medium.
Okay.
All right, so now I'm holding it.
You're very gentle. Just want to let you know that.
Oh, that's good to know. 'Cause when I'm
I don't
coloring-
even feel
when
that.
I'm coloring, they say, well, I'm holding your hair right here, so you, if I pull it, if I go like this,
Yeah,
you're
no,
gonna
but
feel
you're
it, right?
very gentle.
Okay, so here, and here you can see the zigzag now. You see this strand has a zigzag
I
versus
can't quite see it, unfortunately.
oh,
I'm sorry.
okay, yeah. All right.
Okay.
But it's only one strand.
Oh, yes. Okay.
All right. So if I go like this, you
Oh.
want to come closer? See how it's a zigzag versus the actual coil like you have over here?
Mhm.
That coil we
Yeah,
pulled
that-
out,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a C. You could see it. This one is zigzag, and your elasticity is good because it's not popping off.
Oh,
Right? But you
okay.
can have different elasticities in different sections of your hair
Mhm.
because of the breakage and the shedding.
Mhm.
So here might be fine, but over here if I did that, it might snap off because it's already snapping
Right,
because
right.
it's lacking the nourishment from the lack of porosity
Got it.
throughout the whole hair.
Okay.
That's why I say this is your true texture. This is going to be your optimal texture. It's going to be fine
Mhm.
in here. But as you go 2 inches down, this is where really the care has to be taken care of.
Right.
And scalp is different than hair, right? So for you and for everyone, it's important to cleanse the scalp regardless. The scalp must be cleansed in order to be healthy and to grow.
Yes. Always.
No buildup, no, keeping products in forever, not putting a lot of oils on top of it when it's itching. When that happens, you need to cleanse your scalp.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you cleanse your scalp all the time. So your healthiness of your scalp and your hair up to here is very, very good.
Yay.
Right? And then we have the years and years of growing it out.
Right.
And using different products, environment, brushes, combs, whatever have you, has caused, shedding, breaking, shatterness. And then I see your one gray over here.
I think I have two. This one right here.
And I can show you now that this texture normally is a zigzag pattern.
Oh wait, I got two more grays. Wait.
If you look at this texture,
so pretty.
Again, you see that it's a zigzag pattern.
Oh yeah.
Oh, can you see it? Because it's great.
I
Silver,
can see it.
right? And it's zigzag and it's loose. It could be tighter. It could be straight. You can have a straight, almost straight zigzag. So meaning that it's so loose that when you just go like this, it's straight hair. But the feel of it is different. It feels a little, and I don't want to say rough, but it has like a texture to it when you feel it versus like a silkiness to it, right? So all these different combinations are going on in your hair, which is also giving you this volume, right?
Yeah.
The coils, the zigzag, the fullness, the thickness, the elasticity is good. So it might be breaking off in some areas where the elasticity is weaker for those different reasons that we spoke about. And you do say you don't put any oils in your hair at all. So I just want to, clarify. When you put oils in your scalp, it is going to run down your hair, all right, if you add additional oils. Sometimes you do need some oils, but they need to be clean, botanical. And if you have botanical plant-based oils, not synthetic oils, because that will clog up your pores.
Right.
Now, if you have seborrhea, for instance, there are certain oils that you can use that will not irritate your scalp, which are not fruit-based oils because fruit has sugar in it. So if you use like apricot, grapeseed, or whatever oil that comes from a fruit, that is not going to be good for someone who has seborrhea. But if you have a vegetable oil, let's say carrot oil, you have a seed oil like sesame oil, which is very nourishing, deep nourishing oil, then you will not have irritation. If you don't need extra oils because your scalp already has enough oils, then that's fine. But sometimes because you have longer hair, the oil doesn't reach down past here or here, you might need to add oils here, right? However, if you use butters, which are made from seed, coconut, avocado, shea, all butters, they should be mixed with an oil. For those who have conditions of the scalp, you want to make sure they're mixed with a vegetable oil, right? And you don't have to add extra oil because the oil is in the butter.
Right.
Whatever the cream is or the butter. It's already whipped in there because that's how you make a butter. You have to whip it with something to make it a butter, a cream. And then you have to look for the least amount of heaviness of the butter if you don't want buildup, right? So when you're styling your hair, it's not about buying the thickest butter. It's about how much you put on your hair.
Right.
And so if you buy a thick butter, less is more. And then you add it on as needed, right? It doesn't mean that, oh, my hair is thick, so I need the thickest butter out there so that it can work on my hair. Nothing is going to work on your hair if it's not healthy.
Right.
Your porosity, your elasticity, your density, all of the things have to be healthy for the products to work. So many times when you say you use products and you say, oh, this is not working, this is not working, it's because your hair is not healthy. Once you get it healthy, meaning you make the porosity mostly normal instead of high or low, then the product will work.
I didn't know you could change your porosity.
I'm going to tell you how to do that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so your hair is not naturally low porosity.
Okay.
But thicker, tighter coils generally tend to be high porosity. I mean low porosity.
Okay.
Color treated hair like mine is high porosity because I opened up the cuticle. I have high porosity. And so that means I'm always going to have it because I color my hair. So I have to put back the moisture, the protein for repair in my hair, and I do it weekly. I don't skip it.
Got it.
Sometimes if I do skip it, then my hair will be drier all the time. It's always dry, right? And so I have to make the combination of whatever. And I always use repair on my hair because I have color treated hair.
Right.
But I need to add more moisture, more hydration, hydrating and moisture conditioners to fill in the hair bonds and the hair cuticle, to fill it in so that it's actually, products can actually hold on the hair.
Right.
And so recently I use a different conditioner. I use a repair all the time, but your hair has memory, so it gets used to things. Sometimes you need to switch it up.
I be saying that? I be saying that.
I use a different product, and it's a plant-based, super conditioning, protein moisture base.
Yeah.
And I was just like, my hair is different this week. It's so different. It's so fluffy. It's so soft. It's like amazing.
Yes.
But I didn't realize that because my assistant did my hair, I didn't realize we use a different conditioner.
Yeah.
And then she reminded me, oh, we use this new conditioner on you. And I was like, no wonder. The product is like holding so well. My hair is so fluffy.
Yes.
I mean, literally, it's like, feels like a cloud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it normally feels good anyway because I do my hair every week. But this week it feels extra, extra soft, extra fluffy. Right? So that was a game changer for me because I love my products. Like, I stick to the products that work for me. When you have a product that really works for you, you do need to stick to it. Obviously, you're gonna try new things, but don't try it on a section of your hair.
Yeah,
right?
I have I would say a few lines that I really love, and I rotate them, and that I think helps me out a lot.
So I see over here you do have a lot of zigzag on this side. So you have this coil.
I have a lot of these in the middle,
And this one is becoming more than loose. It's becoming a little tighter. So I was going to say it's more of a defined coil over here versus the loose coil over here, right?
Yeah.
And then you can already see there's a lot of zigzag on this side. And the zigzag you can see better when it's dry. The true texture of the hair you're going to see when it's wet, right? So dry, I see a lot of zigzag. When I smooth it in, it becomes the defined coil, right? But then I still see that zigzag in there. It's overpowering the coil right now.
Yeah.
So this side is going to be very voluptuous, right? It's going to be voluminous on this side because you have more of the zigzag over here. But when I go inside, I still see smooth and silky, right?
Yeah.
Can you see that? You have that smooth and silky going all the way down, but it's a tighter, thicker density medium in hair. So you have the density is more medium than thin to medium. So over here you have thin to medium, and here you have medium, and then you have a thicker texture, right? You have that medium defined coil in here, and yeah, it's still coily because it's still not making that loop It's still making that C, but then you have more of that zigzag over here. So that's what's going on over there.
Okay.
Right? And then it's coming back here too. That same texture on here. And then over here it's getting tighter.
So we're at about 4 right now. Different ones, right?
Loose, medium, tight. Yeah. But this one is not this one, it's not tight.
Okay.
It's still 3. It's still 3, but like a variation, a slight variation. I wouldn't put you in that category of saying it's tight over here, because tight is tight.
Yeah.
You know? So it's getting tighter, but it's not completely.
I would say I maybe have a few that are like, I'll pull out and I'm like, this is not my hair. Where'd this come from? It's like, you know, it's like, it seems so random.
But then again, you also said you notice different textures coming in, like 2 inches or 4 inches, one texture, another texture on the middle part, and another texture on the bottom. That's because, again, if you have different textures in the strand of your hair, that's something is going on. That's not your hair growing like that.
Right.
That's different environment.
That's from
products,
the
pulling,
manipulation of your hair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As well as if you never cut your hair since you did the big chop,
I didn't do a big chop. I never did a big chop.
You grew it out.
I grew it out and then I had cut it. I did
You were cutting it slowly.
I cut it slowly, but that was like over a decade ago. If you know what I mean.
Usually your hair will grow 6 inches a year.
Yeah.
So you know, this probably is not from that.
Yeah, no, I think it's from regular just
manipulation.
Yeah, manipulation.
And products, I would say.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we covered, right? We covered porosity, elasticity, scalp health of the hair, textures, how many textures you have. I would say 3 defined textures, but variations of the texture. That's why we can't say 4 ABC, 3 ABC, because no one has one distinct texture in their hair. Nobody.
Yeah, I wish we would stop doing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was just a made chart so people could understand how to buy products at the end of the day.
Right.
And so we don't do that here. We go by
what you see,
the pattern and what you can see and feel. Right. And then I explain it to you because it's more logical and your brain can actually assess it. Like if I tell you have curly hair, you know that now it has to be a S loopy pattern. Right. You know, you're seeing it as you understand the curl pattern. The S pattern, the C pattern, the zigzag pattern. Those are the patterns. The texture is wavy, curly, coily, afro coils, right? Or afro, whatever you want to say. But it's definitely a afro, meaning big and straighter in its width and density and things like that, right?
Okay.
All right.
So you think I have a shot at this?
Yes, because when I saw when you showed me the picture with products in your hair, I was like, I don't know. But when I saw the picture in the paper today with your hair out, I was like, yes, definitely. So we are, and I have a measurer right here. So what do we? I don't remember how many centimeters does it have to be in circumference after it's picked out.
I would have to check on my phone.
We'll
Harold can look it up.
Yeah.
So what I'm envisioning to kind of help, and you can tell me if this makes sense because you're the cutting master, is that if we add some shape, like some shape at the bottom and some shape here, that it's going to sit.
It's going to stand up.
That's what I'm thinking. You can tell me if I'm wrong before we chop all my hair off.
No.
That's what I'm thinking. And then I think ideally also I need to see what it would look like because I always have it down the middle. Yeah. But I need to see what would happen if we go up. Sorry. Yeah. If we go up as well, just to see how high it will sit. Because of the way I style my hair, I don't really get the round back here.
Right. So this is your crown area, and your crown area is where it's going to sit up.
Right.
the more weight you have on the hair, it's gonna lay down, right? So for length, you want to keep as much down here as possible. You can just take off like a minor amount. But in here, this area, from here to here to here, and maybe a little bit in the back of your crown, going into your occipital bone, which is right here, this area right here. You see that lump that sticks out a little bit? Yeah. This is the top of it, this is the bottom of it, but we won't go in back here. We can over direct it so it's shaping, so it falls nicely, but we don't take off the length. But right in here is where we have to work. Right, and so essentially what we're gonna, my other concern is, yes, this is all fun and games and it's like challenge, but I also don't want to look stupid when I, like when I'm out styling my hair like I normally do. And so I want... This is not for, when I trim your hair, it's not going to be just for this project. It's going to be for you to wear your hair. Yes. And so that it's layered and it's layered and it falls pretty. Yes. And it's a shape. Yes. That you want. Yes. Right? Essentially, at the end of the day. Yes. Right. And so that's the goal. The rounder the shape, the better for the project. But round does not have to be all over. It could just be right in here. Right. And then it can go here. Right. And then it can go here. Right. So this is the circumference this way in a shape. You're getting a shape this way. And then it's gonna, when you pick it out, it'll stand up more than falling. Right. Right? Yeah, that's the whole. And then, but this is how your hair naturally falls, right? Yeah. So even if I cut, let's say, this much, it's gonna fall here, right? And then picking it will make it go out. Right. So it's not, for me to make it stand up, you have to go shorter. Right, and that's not the goal here. We want to keep as much here. So just knowing that when I take it off and I blend it in here, it's gonna fall like that. Oh my God! What you see is the shape, whatever shape you want. If it's like longer hair, then we can shape it. If you want height and fullness in here, that's how we pull it out and shape it so that it falls like that. Right. Right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think and so because your hair is clean, I am going to cut it dry, right? I'm just going to mist it so that I can get through and use my hands to detangle it more and make it bigger because I cut afros. Perfect. I cut with, I start out down. Okay. But as it grows, it's going to turn into an afro. Yeah. So when you see it at the end when we're finished, it's going to have the shape of the fro, the big fro of how your hair will look if you pick your hair out from any curls or whatever have you. Right. Okay. Right? Yeah. Let's do it. I think this is going to be great. Are you ready? I'm excited. Okay. Okay. So first I want to just measure what you have here right now. It just, and then we need to look up what your requirements are. Yes. To see what you have, can you so that I know how much and how little you sent take off. An email, right? I did, I believe, but you can also just Google it. It's public knowledge. Yeah. All right, y'all. This is... And for you, I'd rather go less taking it off and then go back in. Right. So that we have the measurements that we have. Right. You know? Okay. Versus, if I was cutting a client and I knew this is the shape they want, I would go right in because I know. Right. I'm going to stay here. I want the hair to land here when it's dry. And or obviously when your hair gets wet, it's going to be longer with the products, and then it's going to dry, it's going to be shorter. Yeah. So even this is not going to look, the hair is not going to look this way until you make it an afro. Right. The length. When you put your products in, it's gonna look shorter, actually, and flatter.
I know that, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But picked out, it would look like the way it's gonna look
the way
now.
we want it to look. Yeah, that's okay with me. Especially, I know that different parts of my hair grow faster, and so right now it's not even at all, right? And so I'm okay with taking a couple of inches off. Yeah. It's gonna be fine.
And okay, so when you say the hair grows faster, it's really not that your hair's growing faster, it's that you have different textures.
The different textures.
And the tighter textures, when pulled out, are the same as the looser textures. It's still growing all the same rate. It's just a matter of the texture.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean, like here. So like this piece. Oh, sorry. Now I lost it. So funny because I'm on the other side of the hair. So this here is it's maybe growing the same, but it's gonna look different than this piece here, right? Like here, this one. So it's gonna grow.
It's growing at the same rate from here, but the texture this is a defined C, right? This is a zigzag. So when you pull it out all at the same, it will, when I cut it, it's still going to be the same.
I see.
Growth from here to here, but I have to cut it differently because it springs up. The retention is different. Right. Okay. But all of this is really damaged here. Right. That's why that looks like that. Yeah. This hair down here.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Womp womp womp. Story of my life.
So you have all the tools. You have the tools to get your hair healthy from the start. You know, the plant-based botanical protein / moisture combination, and sometimes hydration too, but mostly protein and moisture balance, right?
Yeah.
And then once you have that, then you can go into moisture hydration, because you don't need the protein anymore to repair, but you need a lot of repair in the strands.
Right there. Oh gosh. So I know we were going to talk a little bit about my salon experience.
Yes.
Is this a good time, or do you want to wait? You don't want to talk over you?
Yeah, you can talk now when I'm measuring.
Okay. So what I've noticed, one of the reasons why I haven't been going in the salon is because, let's say how you just are touching my hair, how you're feeling it. One, sometimes people are a little too rough.
Yeah.
Two, the first thing that they start saying is this is a lot of hair. How are you even, man, like, girl, I could never.
Of course, you couldn't. Because you don't want to.
And so I've even had hairstylists screenshot my content and put it on their stories and say, like, you know, I would have turned this person right around. Absolutely not. Like, that they wouldn't even style my hair.
Well, you know what?
Do you want me to hold this?
That's not a stylist for you if they ever say that to you, because they are not. The thing is that they have no experience with thick hair, and nor do they want to. Now, I have thick hair, so I know your struggle. Right. And so I'm not saying that the stylist has to have thick hair, but she has to have knowledge of thick hair and respect thick hair.
Yeah.
And I also would have friends of mine who are stylists say that I have a lot of hair. Oh, if I'm going to get a cut, blow it out before you come.
Right.
And so I'm happy to do it, because you want to have the least amount of time in the salon with me. I get it. But for a client, this is what you love. You have to love hair. You have to love texture. All textures. You have to love it, live it, and breathe it.
Right.
To have someone like you with this thick hair come in your salon. If I see you coming in like this, I'm gonna be like, wow, your hair is so beautiful. That's not going to be the first thing I say is that, oh my God, your hair is so big. What am I going to do? You know why you say, what am I going to do? Because you don't know what to do.
Right, which makes me feel uncomfortable. It
course.
doesn't make me want to sit in a chair.
And you shouldn't.
And I've also had experiences where now I'm sitting in the chair, and because I have so much hair, they're getting scissor happy, and because there's so much to play with, and so they can just keep going. Yes, this is a thing. If you get scissor happy and you have all this hair, it is a thing. And with experience, you have to, know. Like I'm guilty of that for sure. But I've been in and still my clients will come and say, Diane, don't cut my hair. And I'm like, do you want healthy hair or do you want me to not cut it? I mean, which one do you want? Okay, Diane, but in moderation, after a while. But everyone that don't bash salons, you have to be aware yourself of what is good for you and the signs to look for. So when in the beginning you know that, okay, I went to that salon and all of these red flags were popping up, but I was there. And sometimes we freeze and we say, okay, well, I'm just going to go through it. But no, we have to be aware of somebody saying that as soon as you come in, then I'm not, I don't think you're the right fit for me. And that's okay. You have to take ownership of your own journey with the salon because they tell you who they are. Right. They really do, And sometimes, a client will come in and have a lot of hair, and it's not that I don't love their hair or I don't want to play with it or do all these things. I just might be tired at the end of the day, and I'm like, oh my God, you have so much hair. Right. But I still love the hair, but it's, all these little things. Right. If you do have a lot of hair, you definitely want to come in the morning, if you can. You don't want to be the last person because the stylist is going to be tired. And then they're going to be here from, let's say you have a 5 o'clock appointment. You're going to be here till 9, 10 o'clock at night. Because to really take care of the hair, you have to take your time. You have to take your time. And your first appointment will be your longest appointment because you're going to go through, make sure you always have a consultation. If they are just rushing through your hair, trying to detangle it and always detangle your hair before you get to the salon because you don't know what the stylist is going to do. Right. All of these things, like you're going to get a conditioning treatment. You're going to have your hair cut in this state, or they might want to blow it out, but I wouldn't recommend blowing it out because you have so much split ends. So that's going to be painful at the end of the day. Like detangling it, stretching it out, or even blowing it to just loosen it up without the comb. Right. All of these methods and techniques is how you have to deal with those who have tight coils, afro coils, split ends, a lot of hair, a lot of density, because you will be in the chair for a while. Okay. And I see, as we start here. So normally when we're measuring circumference, you do start here, but we're doing the circumference of the width of where your hair is. Where the furthest point comes out. Yes, out here. So our goal is to get it to come out, not fall down. Right. We want it to come out here. Right. So right now, it's, what's this? This is centimeters on this side. Oh, nice. You have all the centimeters. Excellent. I love that for us. Oh, well, Harold, I kind of want you to tell them the story about what happened to me on set. My first time on set. This one is the centimeters down here on the bottom. Okay, so let's bring it out right here. Okay. In the space is what I call in space out here. Okay. And we're not going to we're going to not press against it. We just want it to touch it lightly. And then we bring it out here. And ideally we want it to come out here, right? Not go down. So let's just say here. Okay. So me looking at this here on this side, it could come out more. Like,
Yes.
You see what I'm seeing?
Yep. It can come out more, but really it's going to be here. It's going to be out here. Right? When I cut it, it's going to fall out there. When you pick it out, it's going to be more. Right now it's laying down and it's not fully picked out. It's just hand. So what we're going to just measure what you have right now, not really picked out, just after I finish cutting it, it's going to be picked out because I'm going to be using my hands and the pick at the end, the comb at the end to like fully get it out. All right, so here we have, but right now, just with the hair laying down this way, you have 50.
Okay.
So now I know that I want it to come out here. I want it to fall like that. I want it to fall out here. Let's do more. So it falls out there all around. And that's not 50. I'm sorry, that was 50 inches. That was in centimeters. So you're way over. You're already way over. You're 130 centimeters.
What's the measurement? The circumference?
And that's just with your own hair.
Oh, it doesn't say centimeters?
No. Want to switch it over? Okay.
Yeah. Can you switch it over? It's in my phone. Okay. We have some questions in here. Oh, May Moves is in the chat. What's going on? You want to join the live? Let me know if you want to join. I believe that's Natasha.
In the rules, does it have to be no blowout, or can you blow it out?
I don't think you're allowed to blow it out. It has to be
just
picked.
dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what we need. 162.
And what did I say you had?
You said I had what? 1, 3, 4. What'd she say?
Oh, okay, well, that was, so now I know you have to come out more. And
I'm sorry, my hair does get stuck on wrists.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Jewels. And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to actually just go through and spread it out first.
Okay. Yeah. So
then we can measure it again. I think that was 25, 30.
Okay. Yeah.
But then when I actually loosen this up more, we'll see it stay in that section.
Okay.
So I'm making my parts with my hand.
I'm sorry, it's getting a little.
It hurts?
No.
That was quick.
Hey. Hi.
Hey, ladies.
How are you?
How you doing?
Oh, good.
Good to see y'all. Wow, look at all that hair.
That's what you want that stylist to say when they see you.
Yes.
Wow, look at all that hair. Not, oh my God. Right? But like excitement in your voice.
It's
With
beautiful.
love for you.
It's beautiful. So, how many inches? I was asking, how many inches or centimeters do you have to beat? Or do you have to get to?
Circumference 162.
162.
Over 162.
Over 162. Okay.
And when is the contest? When do you have to do it?
Really a contest.
When do you have to? Is there a deadline for it to go in?
I have a year to do it,
So
but I'm
your hair grows 6 inches a year, so
That's true. But I plan on doing. My hope is to find a location, date, and time, and do it this month, at the end of this month.
Okay,
I would wait a little.
We'll see. Let's see.
We want to see how long it is, and then give yourself some time for your hair to grow some more,
Okay. Well, let's see.
because it is gonna grow. Yeah.
We'll see. If we have to push it back, we can.
Yeah. But let's see. Let's see once I pull this all out and get a real measurement, because that was a measurement just without even fluffing it up or picking it out.
Right.
And we didn't even pick it out yet.
Right. So yeah, I think when it comes to the height and the width, I think I got
more than enough.
Yeah, more than enough. I think
spare.
yes.
Like when we cut.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. I don't want to get Scissor happy.
No, please don't. So
We have a mission.
we're on a mission, but that's true. If we feel like today it's not ready, we can always push it back, which would be totally fine. But I'm excited to actually like get this shaping.
Yep.
I'm actually excited. I was really scared. I almost panicked, but I'm feeling better now.
Tell us why you were scared, Jess. Why were you scared?
Well, so when I was growing up and I would go to get to the salon and I would get like the Dominican blowouts and I'd get my hair relaxed. And growing up, we were a very low income household. And so going to the salon was already like, I felt bad because my mom was paying money to get my hair cut. And when they would do my hair, they would be like acting like I was breaking the brush. Like, her hair is so, and they're trying to detangle it. And it was very embarrassing. So that experience was horrible. And then when they would go to put the relaxer in my hair, they would obviously have it in sections, and they would put one whole box would only take half of my head. And then they would make my mom pay for a second box of relaxer for the other half of my head because I needed 2 boxes of relaxer, which is just.
So they weren't even buying it professionally. They were buying it by the box.
Yes.
Not the tub.
Yeah, by the box. So 2 boxes of what is it, just for me? Yeah, so.
Which is also drying for the hair.
Yeah, so that was also not the best experience.
Nice little tiger coil over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are like some of the incidences that I've had growing up. I had so many. I only had one good salon experience, which was in college. When I was really nice, was in Connecticut. But other than that, it hasn't been fun. It hasn't been like, oh, you're going to get pampered. Oh, you're going to relax. Like as soon as they see the length, the depth, everything that's an extra $200. This is gonna cost you $600. This is gonna cost, and it's this whole thing where I'm like, I don't feel comfortable. And it's like if you're gonna make a big purchase, you need to be like having a good time. You need to want to spend your money, right? And so, and then I think also the most recent situation where I've actually sat in someone's chair, which was when I was doing background acting, which Hera Niece was able to witness. My friend Hera was here. And I had the most, everyone was uncomfortable.
Yes.
It was, the stylists were literally bullying me while I was sitting in the chair. Were they not?
They were.
They were bullying.
It was not pleasant.
Yeah. One quote was,
This is on a set?
Yes, this was on set. And the guy, it's my first time ever going to anything, and it's a period piece, so the hair has to look like a certain time frame. And they were asking me like, oh, like what kind of like work I do and stuff like that. And they were like telling me that I should stick to hair modeling and not background acting, and I shouldn't have booked for this piece because no one in that time period had long hair. And I'm like,
This is not true.
That's not true.
not true at all.
They styled it.
And they were giggling, making jokes. Like it was, but I kept it
Extremely professional.
I kept it real cute.
I would have said something.
And so after the whole thing, chunks of my hair were coming out, which
We still have video evidence.
yeah, I have some big chunks of my hair are coming out. They put like 100 bobby pins in my
For no
hair.
reason.
I didn't even think the style looked that good personally. It didn't.
After all
She
But
could have done a better
that.
job. She was good at doing the braids in.
it's been rough for me, and so it has deterred me from going back into the salon and having good experiences. I think when I talk to some hairstylists, because I have a different outlook on hair and maintenance of hair, I just do. I'm not putting heat on my hair. I'm not putting. I understand that you say, oh, the flat iron that burns the hair. Or whatever, the person, not the flat iron, whatever it is. I don't care. I'm good. I think I look silly with straightened hair. I think it reminds me of 12-year-old Jess who hated her hair.
Yeah.
And I like volume.
That's fine. You like your hair.
Yeah.
You like your hair. I love your hair.
I like frizz. I like all the stuff.
That's fine.
Well,
yeah. So
And to each his
I'm
own.
sorry that happened to you, but I think that I'm glad that you are having the experience that you're having right now because you are in wonderful hands. And I
yes,
can't
I am.
wait the result. I can't wait to hear the feedback of your experience and everything. I have to run because I have a meeting that I have to get ready for, but I was eating my breakfast and I was watching, so I'm really enjoying all of the behind the scenes. So thank you for bringing me on.
Of course. Enjoy your
Yes.
meeting. I'll see you soon.
Bye,
Okay, bye, Diane.
Bye, Natasha.
She's so cute. Girl, I cannot. I honestly, if you were there, if you were there, I wonder what you would have said. Like you would have thought that the head stylist would have, but he was no better.
Yeah. Well, that's it. In the industry, there are not qualified people to deal with texture still to this day. That is a battle that the NHBC is fighting with one of our members,
Mm-hmm.
who is a union stylist, and she's doing her best. Jennifer Lord is doing her best to make changes over there, but it is a process, as you know. We're making changes here in the state with the law that passed, and we, as in the NHBC, are on the subcommittee of the New York State Appearance Enhancement Board, which is a governing board over cosmetology, natural hair styling,
Mm-hmm.
waxing, estheticians, and all of that. So we are on the subcommittee that have already updated and reviewed the curriculum and the license that will um, be introduced into the cosmetology schools. Of course, the natural hair schools already have it,
Mm-hmm.
but we've updated that as well, making it more modernized and efficient, and creating the terminology and the language that is missing from just not having representation on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So we've already done that. So the law that went into effect in 2023, which we were already working on anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but okay, the law was made and we're happy for that.
Right.
And so,
Progress.
right, there's progress. But now, who's going to update it?
Right.
What was left out? What about the instructors? So who's going to teach them?
Right.
Who's going to give them the instructions? Who's going to give them the curriculum to follow? It can't just be willy-nilly.
Right. There needs to
Wild,
be.
Wild West.
Right,
going
right.
on. And so that's what we do as the NHBC. We make changes at the level of legislation and law curriculum so that it's overall for everybody, and a standard that can be taken to other states
Mm-hmm.
if they don't have any standards, because the license, the natural hair license, was formed in 1993
Mm-hmm.
by natural hair stylists and barbers,
Mm-hmm.
meaning Black women and men,
Yeah.
who created it for us, by us.
Right.
The government did not tell us, the state did not tell us we need a license. We said we want our own license
Mm-hmm.
back in 1993, right? And so women and men galvanized and they advocated for this license.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's here. It's been here, and it hasn't been updated since 1997.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there's controversy around that. And so we're going to quiet that because that's what we're doing.
Right.
We're updating it, we reviewed it, we're changing it, we're modernizing it, and we're giving it the language that it deserves. Respectful language, including zigzag hair
Right.
that people don't know they even have.
Right.
Afro coil, zigzag hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Texture. All of the things that make everybody happy and inclusive, because that's the law. Even though we're going through a lot of stuff with that,
Yeah.
New York State, it's been the law now, right?
Yeah,
And so
true.
thank God we got that through. And state by state, it's being, introduced. And so we'll see what happens in the next 4 years with that. But
Mm-hmm.
we are already the standard. We have been the standard. We diligently work every day, tirelessly, creating and talking to people like yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and creating surveys for those who have had experience like yourself in the salon, so that we can document hair trauma, you know, and what's going on out here on these streets.
Yeah.
You know,
Because,
what is going on
it's
in
true.
these streets?
And it's like, I know I need a professional cut, but I'm too fearful to go get one.
Exactly.
So I'm going to just live with the split ends, right? It's like, I'll cut it at home, but I know I know it's going to look choppy.
Yeah.
I know I'm not getting everything I need to get off. But that is still.
Well, you have fear of going somewhere that they
Right.
will chop your hair, and you want to keep your hair as much as you can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, we both know, and I already told you, you know, you say you have 4. I think it's a little more, but eventually
It'll get there, yeah.
it'll get there. You don't have to chop it all off today.
Right.
And there's also mending that has to go on with your conditioner.
Right.
And the steam treatment. Like, the steamer is your best friend.
Okay.
Any way you can get it. You know what I mean? I don't care if you have to go to the gym and put the conditioner and sit in the steamer.
Yeah.
The wet steamer.
Okay.
You can get it that way too.
Yeah.
But we give steam treatments here.
Yeah.
And that is a mandatory. Everyone gets one no matter what.
How long do you recommend people steam? Like 30 minutes? Half hour?
20 minutes is sufficient, really, at the end of the day. And then you have to cool it down to close the cuticle.
Right.
Right? We already talked about how to change the porosity of your hair. No, we didn't. So how you reset your hair is by, yes, we did, shampooing with the peppermint, the tea tree to open up the cuticle and then deposit again with your moisturizing shampoo and your deep conditioning. But going under the steamer is going to open up that cuticle completely so you can deposit all the nutrients in there and then close it back down.
Right.
And that's a routine that you must practice to repair and balance, rebalance, reset. And I would do it every time you shampoo your hair until it is reset.
Okay.
And then once a month is fine.
Okay. I think I can manage that.
And getting a steamer, and there's lots of them, you know, if I may say so. Pattern has a handheld steamer.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's amazing because it actually has a dome to put on there to target the areas. Yes, it's going to take longer, but you still get it, you know, and it has an attachment where you can comb it through and you'll still get the benefits of a steamer. When you go to the salon, you can get it at the bath bar, which is the bath, we call it here, the steam bath, while we're shampooing and conditioning. And then you can get the full dome head of the steamer.
I've never seen that before in my life.
This one over here.
It's very cool. It's
The
very
silver
high
one.
tech.
So that one is like you get the full penetration everywhere all at once. And everyone here gets a 10-minute steam, regardless if we're doing moisture or hydration. But when you need the repair, we'll do it for 15 to 20 minutes under the steam. So that hydration, that water is penetrating with the heat, is opening up the cuticle, is penetrating in there.
Okay.
And then when you take it out, your cuticle is going to close because everybody knows tempered, cool water is going to close the cuticle. We all know that. Do we do it? No, because we don't want cold water on the head. But it feels so good on the scalp, especially if you have scalp conditions.
Yeah, it does feel
That
nice.
cool water is just calming, you know, calming to the hair and the scalp.
Sorry. Wow.
Okay, so I'm just taking my time, brushing and loosening up your pattern, right, and making it more of the afro that you will use when you're gonna do your that we can measure it, and then the cut. You can create the shape and say where we want it to fall, like when we're holding it out. Okay. And obviously, again, it'll be shorter when it's wet and when it has products in it, but you know that that's what it looks like when it's pulled out as afro. And the way I cut, if you're not gonna have a specific bang, you'll be able to wear it left or right, or back.
Yeah.
It's not specific to any parts.
Perfect. Okay. That would be
Unless
ideal.
unless you want it to fall like side swept or something like that.
No, it's okay. I
But for this, we need it to be as full as possible coming forward this way.
Right.
So, obviously, we know that your ends are tricky, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, the way I start is I hold the root of your hair and then I bring it down a little bit and I detangle like that, right?
Okay.
Then I come down here and I go from the bottom. I want to add a little more water because I want to see where it stops here. If you didn't have like the shattered ends, it might have come down more without me stopping. And I'm feeling as I go. I'm not going like this.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
that was what I was going to
go in
ask you
there.
because I noticed you were starting up there, and I was going to inquire about what that was about. So
I like to see exactly how much damage you have from the top.
got
So
it.
I want to stop right there.
Right.
That's just stopping. Right. I'm not going to pull it through and make it straight.
Mhm.
Or
Right.
detangle it because I want to detangle it and get through it.
Mhm.
You're not going to get through. It's going to hurt. You're going to break the hair.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to skip this section and then I wet it because your hair is dry.
Mhm.
Even though this brush is great for dry and wet hair, it's always better to mix the hair regardless.
Yeah, I
Okay,
agree.
we're going to start at the bottom, and because we know that, that's a situation.
I also noticed that a lot of hairstylists are not like I use that brush and I have good brush that I know will work.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that even like on set, I've seen stylists with brushes that I'm like, we know that this breaks our hair.
Yeah.
This is like we're so over that. That was so 4, 5, 6 years ago.
And in fairness, I mean, the brushes really started coming out about 5 years ago.
Okay.
5. I would say 5. Let me see. I've been here 4 years. Felicia's brush came out maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in fairness, there you could have always use a paddle brush because a paddle brush is this, but designed a little differently. The way this is designed is that the air is flowing in here, so it's able to go through the hair easily.
Mm-hmm.
Where a paddle brush, it still has the same teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still wider, so that is even better than any other kind of brush. Not like a Denman. You shouldn't be detangling your hair with a Denman.
Right. Okay.
So even in their defense or not in their defense, they should know that a paddle brush is what you should be using.
Right.
And normally that's for blow drying as well, but it's also great for just binding curls and for detangling before these other great brushes were invented.
Mm-hmm.
Technology and evolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over time, things get better and better, but it's just to keep up with it. If you're a stylist who's in the dark ages, you're still using the same thing. Some of the tools still work. Like I have a wooden bone comb, wide tooth bone comb.
That's fine.
That's like
I've
had that since the
I have
beginning of my
I have
career.
one too.
So that's always going to be a staple
Yeah.
in my toolkit. But I mean, I'm going to add new tools on there as they develop because they just work better.
Mm-hmm.
And who wants to, struggle? Yeah. I mean, you have to get out of your comfort zone and try new things. I mean, that's just how life is.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're going to be progressive.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. And that was also sometimes one of my fears of going to the salon when they, because essentially people want you to come with no product in your hair, freshly washed. And I know that because my hair is so long, that might cause, like there have been times where like I would detangle my hair and do this whole thing, not put anything in it, and it's gonna just turn into a huge lock,
right.
And so that's also something that makes me nervous about.
If you don't put any products in it, yes, it will lock, but you always should put a leave-in.
Right.
Always.
Mm-hmm. I don't ever not step out anywhere with no product in my hair.
Yeah, but even if somebody tells you to do that, they mean you need to detangle your hair with a leave-in. And if they didn't say it, you have to know better.
Right.
Everybody has to know better. That
We were talking about this
last night.
Was it last night?
Yes.
come with no product.
Yeah.
No
I said,
product
what's the
doesn't
leave-in
mean a
please?
leave-in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if they weren't specific about it, then you have to know for yourself that a leave-in is the minimum. Even if it's a spray leave-in.
Right.
Anything that's going to soften it up and help you to detangle, period. Because you're not going to detangle your hair dry,
Right.
and you're not going to detangle your hair.
Well, I don't do anything with my hair when it's dry, honestly.
Exactly.
So
Because that would be a disaster.
it would be us. Right, Craig.
Yeah. So, and you see how I'm like pulling it a little bit at a time just to detangle it like that. Even when I'm brushing, I never brush like this, like down. I always, even if I were to take this section, because your hair is silkier and looser, does have, what we said, the shatter, but I can go like this, hold it, section, not, so
Yeah.
that's also, and then I guess this is called raking, right? I rake it versus pulling. I'm like loosening it up as I go down the shaft without, then I go in. If I were to start at the top, because I feel like this is not as knotted up and no split ends up here, right? So I know, I already felt it. I went with my hands. I felt what's going on. I loosened it up.
Right.
And then I went in, and then I said, oh, it's moving. Okay, let me just hold it and then sort of like rake it as I go down, like just loosening it up, hitting it, basically, to just separate. Then I can go in and start again from the bottom and then go back up. And it goes faster that way.
Yeah.
Because you just basically, I don't want to say beating your hair, not tapping your hair. You're tapping your hair with the teeth and you're loosening it up.
Got it.
And that's going to work better than just trying to go in there.
Learning to think.
And you're always going to hold the roots closer to the scalp. Hold it. You're up here, and if you're doing this, I'm just loosening it up. I'm not pulling it. And I'm holding it while I do that. So,
Okay. We have been online for quite some time. Harold, do you think you could grab my my phone charger so this doesn't die? Oh, wrong. I don't have the. I have to grab mine. It's in my bag in the back.
What do you call the iPad? It's just I'm transferring videos back and forth
Nice.
from my phone to the iPad. I'm limited storage.
Somebody asked hair will trim. Yeah, we're gonna trim the hair.
you're going to go off and come back on with trim?
Yeah, it should be a separate video, right?
I think that it probably
I'll get too long.
It will cut off. Yeah.
How much time do they give you now?
Oh,
Yeah, you probably should.
I don't know. You guys, I really hope you enjoyed this live. Stay tuned. I will show you
20, 30 minutes.
the final results when we're finito. And we'll go from there. I hope you guys learned something. You're getting the raw, uncut, unfiltered content today. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Okay.